shy in that game against Ohio, but I think that we covered a lot of ground here. We established our program, we established our ability to finish, we established the opportunity to go to a bowl and win a bowl, and I think we took that next step, so to speak, and I like the mindset of our kids. I thought that we rallied off of a 2-game slide and came back and finished the way we did. So I think a lot of great things got accomplished. I think our senior class, we've talked about this already. I mean, they've got their 31st win. They were a part of bringing Temple back into bowl success. There's a lot of great goals that were accomplished. And, obviously there's still some left on the table, which is terrific, too. They're great motivating factors. So I'm real pleased with the year, obviously the finish, the year. Anytime you come in, and people take for granted, it's not easy, because you reestablish in your program and you got different, you got some different ideas and philosophies and concepts. And sometimes it's easy, to get sideways, and we never did. I mean, it was total buy-in, total alignment, and so I think it's been a great year.
You've coached at some big places and big programs. What does this group and what does this season mean to you in terms of your whole body of work as a coach?
Well, obviously, having the opportunity to complete first year as a head coach, I think it's just really satisfying to see the thing from start to finish come together and have a statement game at the end like we did. I think is real satisfying. And obviously feel great about our staff and what they were able to do. Our 2 coordinators, Chuck Eater and Scott Leffler, and Matt Rule and Zach Smith in special teams. And I just think from top to bottom, the whole organization, the administration down through Ed Bergolson right here, did a fabulous job of taking the great things that Al Golden had done here, and then the opportunity to move this thing forward, take another step. That's not easy to do, and it's a process that's ongoing. Certainly have not arrived yet. I mean, I talked about during the season. People say, "Oh well, we finally got to the point where we went to a bowl game. We've had a 9-win, we had an 8-win, but there were still a lot of things like learning how to handle success. We had to deal with that this year. Learning how to overcome adversity, we had to do that this year. Learning how to finish, we had to do this year. Learning how to not just be happy to get to a bowl game, but go win the bowl game. We had to do that this year. So it's still a process. And what we're doing is building basically a body of work at Temple. We're building what's the right word I'm looking for? Not a legacy, but yeah, I mean, we're just building that thing right now. To me, how do you measure it? You measure it over a period of time. We want to be here. We want to keep winning and keep delivering a great product, not just for Temple, but for the city of Philadelphia. We want to become ingrained college football, major college football in this city, because this city loves sports. But it's not realistic to just think all of a sudden they're going to just take on to it because we've had a couple of good years. I think you've got to string a series of good years together, and then you become embedded, and each year it grows. I think ultimately there's no question in my mind, probably some people would doubt that, but I don't, that there will come a time when this thing will be rocking and rolling as a major city supporting a major college football team. I know it'll happen. It's just a matter of keeping consistent and keep growing. So.
Talk about being that first bowl and the excitement and thinking everybody was going to watch, and obviously getting the big win. I mean, it's only been 3 days, but have you been able to kind of gauge the impact of it yet?
Yeah, I mean, we just got the TV ratings back, and they were really high. And, a lot of people watched this game throughout the country. A lot of people saw Temple University. A lot of people saw the way we played, that we played. It's one thing to come in here and say, this is who we are, we're Temple tough, we're going to be this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But we've backed it up and played that way on TV, and the whole country saw that. And that was really big for us. Obviously, it's big in a lot of fronts. It's big in recruiting. It's big in the support of Temple football. It's big in the city of Philadelphia. I mean, it was just a great thing for all the above. And obviously through ESPN, talking about where our program has come to, and how attractive we are. And it's all just a positive. We keep talking about the buzz here and the momentum here. Well, let's just continue with that. And that's great. That's what you want.
Now you lose 14 seniors this year, and 14 of them were starters. I mean, 14 starters.
It could be. Is that right? I don't know if that's exactly right.
13 or 14.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, any concern, especially with the offensive line, 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. You're losing great players, but you know what? Last year we lost a bunch of players too. And each year you're going to lose a bunch of players. That's life in major college football. And, it's not to say that you don't have some peaks and valleys along the way. We all know every program does, even the elite ones, even though they don't want to admit it and don't want to hear it or sustain it, but it happens. But we have good young players, and we have good young quarterbacks, and we have good running backs. We got to develop an offensive line, but I'm pretty comfortable with that. That's my background. I feel good about that. That's something we can get our arms around. We're losing some good defensive players, but we got good young defensive players. If you're going to be a good program, you have to have the ability to reload. And yes, not every year is going to be exactly like the year before, and you take some hits and things happen, but that's part of it now. You got to be able to keep rolling, and we need to do that, and we will. We will.
Who are some of the guys who didn't play a lot, but you're looking forward to seeing play next year?
There's a ton of guys. It's hard for me to rattle them all off right now, but on defense, you got guys like Marcus Green, you got Sean Daniels, you got you've got young guys. At the linebacker position, Nate Smith's a freshman. I think he's going to be a great player. I just don't. I'm afraid I'm going to I'm going to forget guys now as I'm rolling here. You know what I mean? Roby in the secondary got hurt this year, and he was going to become a starter. He's got a really bright future. Obviously Gilday is back, and we got some young corners that played really well. Praise Martin as a linebacker looks like he has a very nice future here, and Chudnoff looks like he's got a nice future here, and kind of keep going. There's just a bunch of guys, on offense. Martin Wall's coming back as a tackle. You got Sean Boyle's coming back inside. You got Zach Hooks. You got Lofton. We got young linemen that are coming in this program. We got Booth and Alex Jackson at the tight end positions. We feel great about. Wyatt Benson's coming back. We've got Matt Brown. We've got Bernard Pierce. We've got process all this right now.
It's fine. You don't have to. I just want go forward.
Spencer Reed at tailback. We've got Jalen Fitzpatrick is a really exceptional guy. Deion Miller's back on the perimeter along with a host of other wide receivers. We're not void of talent. The biggest hit is probably in the offensive line at one, because that's a more developmental position, and of course a few marquee defensive players. But we've got young guys in place, and that's what development is all about.
You mentioned Bernard